Once again, you are welcome to the class. My name is Isaac Oimogje. The lectures are always available after class, maybe maximum 24 hours on our YouTube channel, so you can access the lecture once again. So thank you for joining. So I will be transiting to the slide at this point in time. Okay, so welcome to class. Okay, for those just joining, there is the menu bar bottom. Click raise your hand or chat, but preferably I would like you to use the chat button because I'll be seeing your chat instantly. Okay, so because we are starting a new class for yes, in this Tuesdays, then I will be giving a general introduction like I normally do when we start a new class. Okay, this is the exam in brief. Let me just bring out my cursor so that everybody can see. The exam, IELTS exam in brief. Let me see if I can bold in for those who will have, okay, font issue or would be watching it later. Okay, we have the readings. Yeah, we have the listening, we have the writing, and we also have the speaking. So it will just be good if you get used to this part. Okay, I'm having a slight cough and it's affecting me. I'll get water. Okay, I'll get a 30 seconds break later. Okay, so this is the breakdown. The reading part has 3 reading passages, at least 12 questions in each passage. Oh, sorry, this one possibly just deleted me off. Okay, in each passage. Okay, 40 questions in all. Duration is 1 hour. Okay, then there is a listening part. There are 40 questions to be answered. Audio will play for 30 minutes. Okay, when audio play for 30 minutes, on completion, there is 10 minutes to transfer your answers from workbook to the answer sheet. When we get to listening, I'm going to break that down. Then we have the writing. Is in 2 sections, into sections. That is, let me put it here, 2 sections. Part 1, those writing IELTS General will write a letter in section 1. This could be formal, semi-formal, or formal, informal letter. Okay, those writing academic are expected to analyze maps, charts, or diagrams. Then the duration is 20 minutes, be it academic or general. Okay, part 2 is common to everyone. You will write an essay. Okay, in this section, both academic and general writers write an essay. It could be narrative or argumentative essay. That's what we treat naturally Thursdays. Then the duration is 40 minutes. Then the speaking aspect that we'll be talking about this evening. There are 3 sections: the introduction, the cue card, the concept and idea. Okay, so those takes, this aspect takes 11 to 14 minutes. Okay, I am actually taking it, at least Nigerians hardly have issues with this part, but yet it's worth tackling because some people do generally have problem in this section. Okay, so okay, so let me proceed from here. Give me a moment. I'm trying to fix something in the background. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So welcome to tonight's IELTS speaking. Just like I said, the IELTS speaking is in 3 sections. Number 1 is the general introduction and information about candidates. Number 2, this section is monologue. generally, those who have done IELTS before, they know it's as Q card section. And section 3 is conceptualization of issues or ideas. Yes. Okay, and the duration is 11 to 14 minutes. Yes, it's 11 to 14 minutes, but you will also be graded just the way you are graded in other section 6, 7, 8, 8.59. So the first section, I will give a breakdown, and tonight I will be unmuting us individually to actually participate in the class, and I'll be pointing out names, especially those who have been in the class for a while. Okay, yes, so that you can serve as a guide to other people. I know that most of the people I'm seeing in class tonight are actually maybe first-time writers, or maybe some few who are just rewriting. Okay, in this section is general introduction and information about the candidate. You will come into the exam. It's a one-on-one chat, and the person will introduce himself and ask you to possibly introduce yourself. But before then, the person can read out your information to confirm you are the actual person he or she was expecting. Okay, my name is Isaac Orimoguje. I'm your examiner today, and you are candidate number, blah, 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 name. Okay, how can I address you? Okay, then the person can say, can I get to know you? You introduce yourself. So after that, the person possibly depending on the disposition of the person might try to calm you down. Yes. Or the person might not be that kind of person. He or she might just go straight into the questioning. But one thing is that immediately you see the person press a recording device, the exam has started. Okay, so I need to tell you this here now. Let me just write it. And immediately the person presses a recording device. Okay, okay, your grading has started. Yes, it has started. So the person might actually inform you that he will start recording or not. Just be aware of that. Immediately the person presses a recording device, your grading has started at this point. Okay, so this is an introductory aspect. I said questions will be asked from you, mostly about yourself in relation to any topic. Questions will be asked from you, okay, about yourself in relation to any topic in particular. Okay, uh, just like I said here, I said it could be on any topic, but they will be related to you, they will be personal. Okay, this is a sample question. Okay, this is a sample question. Someone sent a chat, let me check. Okay, no, it's not a chat. Okay, I thought I saw a chat coming. Okay, so this is a sample question. Do you like traveling? Okay, so what's your favorite type of holiday? So the person will ask you this question one after the other. Do you like traveling? Okay, yes, I'm a big fan of tourism. I like traveling a lot. Okay, so I will give you a breakdown on how to respond to this. What do you do on holidays? Okay, are there many tourists visiting your country? These are the type of questions they will ask in the introductory part. It will also be questions like, okay, do you work or do you study? So then you respond to the person. Okay, so that's how the question is usually is. Okay, let me quickly go into the breakdown on how to go about this place. These are other sample questions. Okay, when you are in the exam hall, you won't be seeing this question. The person will be holding the question, but you will be responding as the person is asking. This one is about friends. Do you have many friends? This one is about name. Did your parents choose your name or names? Okay, so it could be anything, anything in relation to you personal. Okay, let's go into the breakdown now. Then I will give you a sample response on how to answer. Then I will ask for volunteer if you want to volunteer. If you are not volunteering, I will pick someone. Okay, I said general guide that you need to follow in this part. I said you need to answer within the context of question. You need to listen properly and answer based on the context. What is your name? Okay, do you work or study? Okay, so I said use alternate words or synonyms. Okay, we won't be teaching alternate word or synonyms here, but we will be teaching that in the writing class. And for those who have been attending the writing, you will see it when you start attending too. If you are just joining today, you will see the demonstration of how to pick your alternate words and synonyms. For example, if the person said, ask you, do you like watching football? You can say, yes, I'm a big football fan. You don't need to necessarily tell the person back that, yes, I like football. Okay, use alternate words, yes, and synonyms. That's the example. Okay, do you like food? Absolutely, I'm a foodie. Foodie means I'm a lover of food, or you can say, oh, I am really a big fan of food. I think that's my favorite. I think that's my passion. So, yeah, so you don't need to necessarily say I like food back to the person. Okay, I said you'd use higher words or expression as much as possible that you can compose yourself. Use higher words. Okay, the spread of insurgents has been caused by, okay, um, maybe lack of funding. If it's something negative, insurgency is being fueled by, okay, poor funding. That is, you are giving power to negativity using the word fuel instead of using the word it is being caused. So you can use higher words and expressions, whether word, whether expressions. Okay, um, his failure is down to, instead of saying because of, higher and uncommon expressions. Bring them in. You can see the highlights I gave on this side as well. What I said here is that pay attention to this aspect also in the writing class, because I take you through the process of learning how uh, to learn some higher words and expressions. Okay, answer with more than one sentence. Do you like food? Don't just say yes and stop. Yes. Okay, this one, there is a mistake. Don't just say yes and stop. You need to say, okay, yes, I am a big fan of food. Yes, I love food very much. Okay. As a matter of fact, I love carbohydrates. I love rice. Okay, sometimes mixed with protein beans. So you don't need to say one sentence. Say at least two or three sentences. Okay, I wrote why stranded here. It is when stranded, use why to transit. For example, okay, do you like food? Yes, I like food. And one of the reasons, if you don't have anything to say, use why. That is, why do you like food? Okay, so these are the things you need to really pay attention to. Okay, and the next thing is the fact that use language that suits the situation. That's why you need to, when we are doing vocabulary development, um, for example, if you are saying is very good in tech, the word very good is good English, but if you say it's tech savvy means you are using an appropriate language to qualify somebody who has knowledge of technology. Tech savvy. Okay, when you are talking about football, you said, okay, people that like football. You said football fans or football fanatics. You need to use words. It helps your mark and grading as many as you know or can use under the circumstance. I'm not saying stress yourself to start recollecting. I'm saying develop it. And you can see, I said here, I said pay attention to vocabulary development in the writing section. Every of these parts that I indicated is being taught under the writing section because you're going to read a lot of journals. So over time, your vocabulary on each issue should develop because every week thereabouts we treat different topics. Yes, IT, sport, entertainment, art, culture. Okay, all those things. So you should build your vocabulary, yes, to help you in your speaking. Okay, you can see my notice here. I say listen and watch English-based programs. Watch CNN, watch BBC. Because you are preparing for exam, you need to be very conscious. You need to be have a wide range of ways you put across or express yourself, or you put across your narratives. Yes. Okay, so those are the things you need to actually do. So now I want to do a practice for you. Then after that, if you want to volunteer, just send a chat. If you want to actually volunteer, I will ask 2 or 3 people to volunteer. Then I will ask you some questions. For example, now, before I finish, just send it. Okay, do you like traveling? Absolutely. I love getaways. I'm a fan of tourism. It's one of my passion, and I've traveled to different parts of the world. Okay, I've traveled to the UK, to Dubai on sightseeing on many occasions. So you have responded. So what's your favorite type of holiday? Okay, I like getaways that takes me to secluded places, possibly island or possibly desert where there are few people to just interact with. Those are my regular type of holidays or getaways. Okay, what do you do on holidays? Okay, I think I do 2 major things on holiday. I relax and I read. Okay, because after a lengthy period of work, which is often hectic because of the nature of my work, you can see I'm bringing many dimensions to it now. So I love to relax. So that's why I call it a getaway. And during those periods, I take time to read different books because I fill in my knowledge bank in that period of time. So are there many tourists visiting your country? Okay, wow. Okay, let me think. Over the past few years, I think the record has shown that Nigerian is quite attractive destination to a lot of tourists. Yes, many people are visiting for different purposes, and over the years, I think last year, to be precise, we have over 1 million of people visit the country, and the year previous it was about 800,000. So there has been an upward trajectory in the number of people that are visiting Nigeria for tourism. Okay, so the thing there is that you need to answer the question, use various tones, expansions, bring something, but don't lose sight. Are there many tourists visiting your country? You want to know the number, the volume. Even if you don't have the exact number, you can give insights into the volume. Okay, so you need to pay attention to the keyword. Do you like traveling? That was the first question. What's your favorite type of holiday? What do you do on holidays? Are there many tourists visiting your country? And I particularly say, okay, there are many of them visiting Nigeria, my country. So that's the way to go about it. Okay, okay, in my chat section, nobody has actually volunteered. Okay, and but now I would have to pick someone. I will have to pick someone, and I'm going to pick randomly, randomly. Okay, I'm going to pick, if I pick you, if you want to pass, you can pass, but I would like you to talk. I'm going to pick, okay, I was about picking someone and I think the person got out of class. Okay, maybe, okay, I'm picking, Obarishi, okay, if I'm seeing your name very well, Esther Adedayo. Can you hear me, please? Hello? Okay, I've unmuted you, I can't hear you. So I think I would pick someone else. If you can hear me, or maybe there's an audio problem, you can just signify that you are responding. Are you talking? Okay, I will pick someone else. Uh, I will pick, okay, I will pick Temitope Adegui. Okay, please unmute yourself because I have actually unmute you so that you can participate in the class. I can't unmute everybody at the same time, but it seems a lot of people are far from their system. Okay, okay, Dr. Calvin.
Yeah, good.
Okay, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, can you hear me? I heard you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, I just want to
Yes.
participate because I want to ask the following question. Actually, under exam condition, you won't be seeing the question, but I am displaying it for the sake of everyone in the class. Okay, I will be asking you questions about friend, and immediately you are answering, I'll be talking back and giving responses on how you responded. Okay, do you have many friends?
Yeah, I have quite a number of them. Most of them are my undergraduate friends. We met way back then.
Okay, okay, this was a good response. He said he has quite a number of them. Okay, and they are undergraduate friends, those friends he met or he made while on campus or in school at the university. Okay, how often do you go out with your friends?
Usually we have different closing times because most of us we've started working out. But most times we get together around Fridays and sometimes on weekends as well. Probably when we have occasions like birthday parties, we go around, we like share it together. But most times, let's say roughly once in a week.
Okay, that's okay. So he has given us the regularity of their visit, how often, because that's the main thing. He says weekends, sometimes when they have functions, maybe that makes them come together. Okay, Okay, can you tell me about your best friend where you were in school, especially in the university?
Okay, my best friend. I can only point to one person in particular, which we met during our undergraduate days. Although we are staying in different regions of the country, but we talk more on the phone. His name is Shegun Olisa. He's married now with two kids, and is a geophysics. He's working with University of Ibadan.
Okay,
But most time, okay,
okay, thank you. Okay, how friendly are you with your neighbors?
on that one, I wouldn't be the judge of that one really because I don't know how much I am on that one because I don't really do well when it comes to meeting
Okay,
neighbor. I try to
okay, that's good. He has
look at
given
our
his response. He
security
said,
and still keep an
okay,
open minded
okay. He
when
said
it comes
he's
to me.
not much of a friendly person. He couldn't be a judge, but really, he still went into it and said he's not much of a friendly person, blah, blah, blah. The thing there is that he's giving response in how he relates or how he much friendly he is to his neighbor. Okay, which is more important to you, friends or family?
It's definitely family because you know oftentimes it's the family that will be there through thick and thin. Come to think of it, friends can leave you, they can go away, be it work, be it some other things, they can decide to relocate, but your family are always there. Even
Okay,
and so
okay, that's good. I think you are breaking at some point in time, but it's very clear that you said you decide to pick family. Though I will have loved you, you gave a concept, and the only part I will have loved you to do, what I will have loved you to do is, um, much as you give it a concept that for you it's family, they are there for you. I would have loved you to relate it well with yourself. I think family has worked well for me than friends. I have good friends, they have their place in my life, but families, they've stood there with me, took the thick and pain, and friends, they do go and come, but families have always stick. Okay, okay, so that's an example,
okay,
and this is a typical one. The person who responded actually did well. Okay, so that's how to go about the section one. Okay, that is it about the section one. I will want to pick someone else. Well, I would love us to really volunteer because of the fact that we will all face this test at a particular point in time. We will all face it. As a matter of fact, some people join today. I never knew they would join because they do not really have issues with speaking. Okay, so I think one of them have spoken. So I think it will be good if you also want to practice. Okay, so that's it about the section one. It's very sharp and short. Yes, you need to shoot straight to the question. Okay, now I will go to section two. But before I go to section two, I would pick those who will participate. I'll be asking two people, please prepare. I'll be picking Anita and I'll be picking Ejiro. Okay, I'll be picking Anita and I'll be picking Ejiro. So be prepared. When I finish explaining, section one is not too um, challenging. The section two is where the challenge comes in for some people. Okay, this is the section two. Let me go to section two now. I think we'll do the section one and two and leave these are sample questions, sorry. Okay, this is the section 2, and in the section 2, it's a monologue, and some of us call it cue card. You'll be given a cue card, that is a paper. There will be a question on the paper. You'll be given 1 minute to make your plan. Okay, then you will be required to talk for a minimum of 1 minute. I wrote 1 minute here. It should be 1 minute, maximum of 2. Yes, 1 minute to plan. Okay, minimum of 1 minute to talk, maximum of 2. It is preferable that you talk for 2 minutes. If you talk up to 2 minutes, the examiner will stop you. So you talk until you are stopped. As a matter of fact, if you stop talking at a point in time, the examiner can give you a signal. Let me take you back to my own this thing. Let me take you back to my own um, this thing to my own cue. So this examiner will give you a cue to continue to speak in most cases like that. So in that case, it's just preferable that you continue to talk. Yes, it's preferable that you continue to talk. Okay, so this is a sample, these are sample questions. Okay, look at the question, this question now. I want to put my annotation. This question says, describe a tourist attraction you once visited. You should say when you visited, where it is situated, who you went with, and say what about it you like the most. Okay, this is another one. Describe a time you invited family or friends to have a dinner at home or in a restaurant. So you could be given any question. This is a sample question. Okay, so these are the guidelines I gave on how to handle this section. I said strategy. I said jot down your discussion points. You never assume that you will recollect everything you plan. So you need to jot down your points. I will go into that part now. For example, you are describe a subject you used to like, but now have interest in. Okay, what is the subject? So here you will mention the subject, but I normally tell people you need to tell stories around you can't just mention, okay, I used to hate mathematics. Okay, you want to put an historical date on it. Maybe you want to talk in terms of history. Throughout my primary, secondary school, and even university, when I was forced or I was compelled because of the course I studied, I hated mathematics. As a matter of fact, I used to perform poorly in it right from my primary school days, that all hope was lost by both my parents and myself on the issue of mathematics. I was totally written off. Okay, however, my story changed. Okay, after graduation, when I had to go to business school. So you are talking about, okay, they said when you studied it. So you are now talking about it in concept now. What is it? So you are not just saying mathematics, you are giving a timeline on how it happened. It allows you to talk. So I will still give explanation. Jot down your discussion points. Don't assume you remember everything offhand. No, don't. Okay, I think I've unmuted some people. There are noise, background noise. I need to go into the mute now and okay, and deal with it. Okay, I'm not sure I'm getting it, but I will continue. Okay, so this is, I said be explicit on every point, every discussion point, that is, go into a bit of detail. Okay, I was saying the other time, I gave an historical timeline, primary, secondary school. Okay, when you study the subject, okay, because of it's a compulsory subject in primary school in my country, it's also a compulsory subject in the secondary school. So I studied it in primary school, I studied it in high school. When I got to the university, when I thought I had escaped, I studied it in the social sciences, because in the year one, it was a compulsory part or even a required course. So you are telling the person when you studied it. Now you have many time to make mention of the course. Okay, so on every point, if you want to go into details now, in the primary school, in the secondary school, you might even want to talk about the teacher. Why didn't you like it before? Okay, so you can now start discussing. Okay, maybe teachers made it a mystery, made it difficult. Then you can now go into the teacher you had in primary school. Okay, he taught it, but really, I think he got really carried away. Most of the time, I had about two teachers, but most of them were really triggered by those who knew the subject properly, less concerned by those who were lagging behind. Okay, the same thing happened when I got to secondary school. There was not much of encouragement. It was taught like a mystery. So the teachers would come to class, especially when it got to the place you have to use letters to represent certain things, X plus Y, A plus B. It got rather confusing. So you are going into details of explanation on issues like this. Okay, so, and explain why you have interest in it now. Okay, you can explain. My fortune changed when I got into master's class and I met a friend who loved mathematics and who played board games with mathematics. So he started explaining mathematics to me. So we started playing board games, mathematics on board games, and I saw how simple it was to just interact with numbers. For the first time, it's like the veil fell upon my eye, or the scale fell, and I started understanding this mysterious subject. Okay, so you go into details. Okay, I said be deliberate with your choice of words. And this can only be possible from the vocabulary development session that we did. The vocabulary development, when we are doing it in class, it is for you to develop a lot of word expression range to carry out your narratives and discussions. And I said, don't panic. Don't. It is a gist session. Just use good English. Make it look as if you are chatting with your friend. Okay? Be as relaxed as that. The only thing is you are required to have your discussion in proper English. Okay. So I have given uh, explanation using this example. So I have said it, jot down your discussion point, and I'm going to say that to practicalize it. For example, if I'm giving this question now, describe an occasion you borrowed something from someone. Okay, so when did you borrow it? What was it? Okay, borrowed a book. I want to talk about book. I want to talk about I don't like borrowing naturally. Yes, don't ever think naturally. Okay, so what was it? Okay, I want to, in that first part, I want to talk about a book. And I want to talk about my disposition to borrowing. I don't naturally borrow things I like to buy. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about in the first aspect. Okay, in the second aspect, when did you borrow? The time frame. Okay, university days, Maybe, okay, it was for a particular, okay, university days, when I was in my second year to be precise. Okay, so you can describe what happened during the period. Okay, it was really a financial hard time for myself and my family. So I had to just restrict my spending at that point in time. So I want to talk about circumstance. So on this topic, I want to talk about circumstance. Okay, that's I'm planning now. Then the next one, who I borrowed it from. If I want to make it interesting, okay, it was someone who never cared. And okay, I want to describe the attitude of the person, what you did with it. Okay, study, prepare for exam, why you borrowed. Okay, you can still repeat financial circumstance, or you can say anything. Okay, so I have broken all this down now to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no way I will get stranded while talking. So I have broken it down to the concept that is easy for me. So I have been given 1 minute to prepare and I want to talk. Okay, so the question is in front of me now, and the person asks me to start talking. Wow, really, borrowing does not come natural to me. To be very candid, I can count on my 5 fingers when the times I have borrowed things in my life. But at this particular time, I had to borrow a book, a very important book that was crucial to my course in the university and eventual career. So it took me a while to summon the courage actually to do this. And eventually I did. Okay. Okay. It was actually a book on anatomy. I didn't study anatomy. I'm just giving it all. It was a book about, okay, rock formation, different type of rock formation, which is an important book in physical geography or those who study geology in geomorphology. Okay, so I have said it now, and it was precisely in my second year, and I was financially constrained. I actually come from a well-to-do family, but at this period in time, my family was facing a lot of financial stress, so I had to cut my spending. So it was the second year. The first year, I had all I wanted. I bought books at will and at wish, but now I was stranded, and this was a course that was extremely very tough. The lecturer was tough. The book was not readily available in the school library, and I had nowhere to go. I had to uh, borrow, and I had to borrow from someone who was very stingy. In fact, we were never friends, but he had the book, and I knew he had the luxury of giving it out for a particular period of time. I had to swallow my pride. I had no option. So I went to him. I pleaded for him to borrow me the book. At the first appeal, he actually did reject. He rejected that he couldn't borrow me, that he was using it as well. But I know that it wasn't a core course, that is, wasn't a required course. For him, it was just a course he needed to go through. It was an elective. So after much persuasion, he actually borrowed me the book, and I was glad he did. And so it actually helped me in preparing the book in particular, actually helped me in preparing for my final exams. Okay, for that session in particular, and it became a critical aspect of my career now as okay. So that's it. Okay, why you borrowed the book? Just as I've said earlier, it was due financial constraint. and I had nothing else or nowhere to go or no alternative than to borrow the book from this fellow at this particular time. So the thing there is that I have 6 discussion points or 7. So if you have broken down your discussion around those things you want to say, you won't be stranded. Yes, you want to follow this, but break it down to each aspect. These are the things I want to talk. Each aspect, these are the things I want to talk about. It makes it easy for you to navigate. Okay, so I have given a practical example of section 1, and I've also given a practical example of section 2. Okay, please, I will do section 1 with Anita. So, Anita, I'll be coming to you now and I'll be unmuting you if you're still in the class. Okay, good evening, Anita. You are muted. Okay, if you are muted, I would like you to mute yourself. I'll go to the next person. I actually did.
Muted.
Okay, good evening, Anita.
Hello, good evening, Isaac.
Okay, okay, so I've called upon you to participate in this listening. So this is section 1. I'm actually bringing you back to section 1, and I will be talking about the topic name. Okay, so I would just want you to, I'm not doing the formalities, but I want you to just answer as I ask you. Okay, did your parents choose your name or names for you?
Names actually go with people. Yes, my parents actually chose my name.
Okay.
They actually had my name in
Okay. I said
mind.
you should go beyond 2. You've mentioned 2 sentences, but on the topic you've mentioned only 1 sentence. I would have loved to add why, maybe why they chose your name. Maybe it is their traditional right. Maybe it's the normal thing for parents to choose name. Just tell us, yes, my parents chose my name, and everywhere I know, especially in Africa, it's the duty of parents to choose the name of their children when at birth. Okay. Okay, how did your parents choose your names?
I didn't, I would say I was so young then that I wouldn't understand most of these things, but it was recently my mom told me that my name was chosen because of because of the circumstance that was behind it as at that time. That when I was born, they had actually, yes, they've given birth to about 4.
Okay. Okay, I get you there,
So I
but I
was
would have
given.
loved you to quickly put a concept name on it. Okay, really, I was young at the time, so no one knows when he's been given a name. But later on, my mom told me that, okay, circumstances surrounding my birth, okay, events such as this and this happened, so I was given the name which represent that. So you were not quick to pick out, okay, circumstance of my birth, things like that. Okay, does your name have any special meaning?
Yes, my name does have a special meaning. I had to ask. I asked my mom what actually means because it's actually my native language, and she told me it actually means destiny, and I like it. And I like the name because I am working
Okay.
in that name. Actually, I'm destined.
Okay.
I'm destined to be.
Okay, that's quite good. Okay, if you could change your name, okay, would you?
If I could change my name, I wouldn't like to change it anyway, because the circumstances surrounding the name and what it depicts, and also it has actually brought me a kind of favor, as a kind of favor. And by reason of that, I wouldn't like to change it, even though I'm given the opportunity. I wouldn't like to change
Okay,
it.
okay, that's good. Okay, so she said for no reason at all, because the name connotes something special, and it's been like a magical thing in our life. So she wouldn't like to change them. So thank you for contributing, Anita. So let me check the next participant that I asked to be on standby. Okay, somebody sent something. Well, before we finish the class, everybody will participate. Okay, please go ahead. You said you have a question. Please send your question by text, and then I will raise it. Okay, okay. This is Ejiro. Good evening. Ejiro, good evening. Okay. Well, maybe you couldn't hear me. Okay. Ejiro, can you please unmute yourself? Because I have unmute you. If you can hear me, you are the next person in line. We won't be staying long in this class, like the writing class. After, if it's 10, we're going to go off, then we'll continue the next class, because those who are just hearing the lecture for the first time, I want you to think. Okay, and also you can check other on our YouTube, you will get the lecture. Okay, Ejiro, you can't, I have tried to unmute you, but you are not. I guess maybe you just place your system on personal mute. Okay. Okay, Temitayo, I'm calling on you. Good evening. Hello, good evening, Temitayo. Okay, one participant is raising his or her hand. Let me check through. Okay, Mr. Henry. Okay, please, Mr. Henry, can you go ahead? I have unmute you, Mr. Henry, so you need to press your unmute button. I think you muted yourself. I have actually unmute you. The person that said she has a question, please, can you send your question? I will attend to it, please. Okay, I think maybe the background from everybody, some people are just permanently muted from their end. They have muted themselves, so I can't unmute them. But I don't know why the thing is like that. Mr. Henry, I would really like you to talk. I have unmute you from my end. Okay, let me do something. Okay. Mr. Henry. Okay, so boss, Miss Bosse, if you want to talk to, I have unmute you, but I think the mute button is just active. Some of us has placed ourselves on perpetual mute. Okay, if I can't get us to talk, let me allow some people else if they will talk. Miss Obarishe Esther. Okay, I think, please, everyone, I will do a general unmute. Yes, most of us are just, we've muted ourselves to the extent that I can't unmute you. I don't know how that was done. Okay, please unmute yourself so that you can talk. Mr. Henry, some people are unmuted. I have muted them back, some because of their background. Okay. Okay. Can you, will you participate? Good thing. Good evening. Okay. There is music from your background. I guess that maybe you are not too attentive. So I'll have to meet you back. Okay. I have given a practice of test section 1, and I've given a practice of section 2. It's like everybody is and I don't really want to call in people who have taught before. Okay, Mrs. Eberechukwu. Please unmute yourself. I have unmute you, unmute yourself. Okay, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, so for today, I will round off what I have taught. I have taught 2 aspects of the IELTS speaking. Okay, next class, I would really love most of us to be ready to participate, because don't assume that you are ready. Just be ready to participate. Someone sent me, you can use religious belief to answer questions. Yes, but you need to answer the question that you are being asked. Yes, if your religious belief properly relates to the context of the question, that is not a problem. They will just want you to speak good English in your conversation. So if that's your question, I have attended to it. So a round of what I just did, we have 3 sections in the speaking. Please, I know most of us are tired, but I want us to just be contributing. And some of us who are joining today, is like we are not used to the button. By next lecture, I would love us to join 5 minutes before class, so that I think I want everybody to use their button before the class starts, so that when I release you to talk, you release yourself to talk, because most of us didn't release ourselves to talk. Okay, then I thought about 2 things, the general introduction and the section of monologue. I have not talked about the conceptualization of idea. So once again, I will say thank you everyone for joining. It is speaking, so I have to be a bit slow. We won't take much time. We will be rounding off the next class, next Tuesday. Then other section will take a long time. I am begging us to participate. 5 minutes before class, the next lecture, please be available. I want us to practice how to use or interface with our the app. Most of us are really not participating. Maybe interface with the app is giving us serious challenge, because this time around, I wanted us to talk. In other class, it is more about chatting. Okay, so good night, everyone. If you want the lecture slide, please just send message to me through the WhatsApp link. I sent you the invite to join the class. Yes, just send a message. I will send it to you. Someone said my network is breaking. Okay, you said I should upgrade. You're actually messaging from the UK, so your network does not break. Thank you. Okay, so good night, everyone. Request for the lecture slide from the link you joined, and also the lecture will be available on YouTube latest 24 hours time, maybe by this time tomorrow. So good night, everyone. Someone says she can't hear. Maybe that's a network from your end. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. That must be a network from your end. Others could hear me. So please alert me to this so that I will know if it's from my end or your end, and I will fix it from my end. Or if it's from your end, then I can't fix it. So good night, everyone. So have a good night rest. So bye for now.